Hello everybody, it is 1:30 on Friday afternoon. You've just all finished your lunch, looked delicious again. And it's that time of the week where I look forward to making a special assembly for you. I'm sorry we can't be all together in the hall, but I hope that you learnt some things from my assembly last week all about respect. And some of you have told me you had a really good discussion in your classes about respect. So, moving on to what we're going to do this week, your teachers need to be ready to pause this video today. So that's your little warning, teachers, because I'm going to ask you some questions that I thought maybe you could talk about in your classes and then you could play the next part of my video. So last week I set a special challenge, particularly to children in years 1, 2 and 3, I think I said. I asked you to see if you could spot respect all around our large building. I wonder what you managed to see. Who has been showing respect and what is it that they were doing to show our value? I'd like you to pause there, please, and just have a little chat. Where have you seen respect? Okay, moving on. I also asked, particularly years 4 and 5, to try and gather some synonyms for me. Now, a synonym is a word that means the same. So which other words do you think are close in meaning to respect? Might not be exactly the same, but which words are close? Or which phrases, which short sentences help you to really understand what our value of respect is? Again, I'll let you have a little discussion, so do pause here. Now, children, I'd like to ask you to ask your grown-ups to see if you can get some of this recorded on the display board outside my room, because I'd really like to know more about how respect is looking and how you understand it. So perhaps in your classroom, you might be able to use some post-it notes or use some little slips of paper and gather some of these ideas to add to the display. That's my little challenge. Okay. But I'm going to talk about something a little bit different this afternoon, not just respecting ourselves and respecting others and respecting difference and diversity, all of which are really important. But I'm going to talk to you this afternoon about respecting nature and respecting animals. I'm going to let you pause once again. What does that mean? What does it mean to respect the natural world around us or to respect animals? I'll let you have a little chat. So I had to think quite hard about this in preparation for my assembly this afternoon, and I think there's lots of important ways that we can respect the natural world. The first one I thought about is because nature is beautiful. I'm sure you've all been somewhere and you looked around you and just thought how beautiful it was. Might be just in your back garden, might be at the seaside, perhaps you've even seen a mountain or a river. All sorts of parts of our natural world are really beautiful. And because of that, it's important we respect the natural world. So we must make sure that we don't throw rubbish or litter. We must make sure that we look after the places we visit so that they stay beautiful for others. That's one reason. But also, we really rely on the natural world. It's very important for our well-being. Food, of course, comes from the fields around us. And the air that we breathe is a much better quality because of the trees and because of the plants and because of all parts of nature around us. So that's another reason to really respect nature. What about animals then? Well, animals bring a fantastic diversity to our world. And again, you can see that just in your back garden from seeing how different all of the birds are that might visit you. You can also see it in nature reserves or safari parks or the zoo, or if any of you have been luckier than I have and perhaps travelled to different parts of the world where animals are so different to the ones that we have here in England. So they're wonderful, and that's why we must respect animals. But also some animals are wild animals. And one of the ways we must respect wild animals is to understand that they can be dangerous and that we must respect them and learn how to keep ourselves safe. Lots to think about there. So I visited our library and I thought, which books can I really find to help me in my understanding of nature? And I know you'll be visiting the library this week, so you might want to find these books. I'll put them back in a moment, or look for other similar books. This is an encyclopedia all about birds, and it drew my attention because there are so many different birds within here. birds of prey, large birds, small birds you might find in your garden, hunting birds. There's such a wide range. And this book, I think, is quite an interesting one to read because the illustrations, the pictures, are just as important as all of the written information. So that was a good one. I've got 3 to show you. My second one was this series here called Animals Are Amazing. Now, I've picked this one up about polar bears because I'm really quite interested in the Arctic and the Antarctic. But actually, this series has books all about crocodiles and elephants and penguins and tigers. So whatever you're interested in, this might be a series to hunt out. Again, some wonderful illustrations to go with the information. Last but not least, I wanted to remind you that we have some wonderful magazines in our library. So this is a magazine called World of Animals. This is just one issue. There's lots of them in the library. And again, this is probably aimed at some of the children in years 4 and 5 because it's quite tricky to read. But here you can find out about travelling to Japan, all sorts of information. Not that we can travel to Japan at the moment, but still useful to know for the future. I've got a little page here about, look at these, ants. Incredibly strong ants building an ant's nest down here. So yeah, I'd encourage you to have a look at these magazines. Something a bit different to take out when you go to the library, perhaps. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for my Respect Assembly today. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of discussion to have in your classes. But what I am going to talk to you about just before I go is how grateful I am for the wonderful, wonderful entries that you sent in for my summer reading competition. So look, you can just see behind me, I sat so that you could see, I've put up some of your wonderful writing to tell me about your favourite book just up here. You might even be able to see your entry. And I'm going to read out now, 2 governors came in this week to judge, and I'm going to read out who the winners are. Everybody who sent me a piece in has already been awarded 3 house points because I was so impressed with the quality. But Mrs. Archer and Mrs. Orpin came to do the judging, and they've decided on 1 winner for every year group, and that winner needs to come and visit me next week. If you come and see me, we're going to choose a special book together as your prize, okay? And then in each year group, there are some children who are highly commended, which means fantastic job. And you need to come and visit me next week because I've got some special bookmarks that I'd like to give out for you. Okay, so let me run through the winners. In year 1, well done to Felix in Badgers. You are the winner of the year 1 book competition award. And highly commended goes to Olivia in Rabbits. In year 2, the winner is Isabella in Foxes. And a highly commended award goes to Dominic in Deer, Oscar in Foxes, and Kush in Foxes. In year 3, the winner goes to Kira in Wrens, and highly commended to Zoe in Wrens, to Isaac, and to Isla Yu in Robins. In year 4, the winner is Oshmi in Doves, and highly commended goes to Lottie Bell in Kingfishers and Joshua Aitken in Kingfishers. Last but not least, in year 5, the winner is Sophia in Swans, and highly commended goes to Harry O, Lola, and Summer in Swans. Really, really big well done to you all. I look forward to seeing you around the lodge next week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Remember the importance of home learning this weekend, the first opportunity for many of you to really, really impress your teachers. Enjoy your reading, have lots of fun, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.